All right. Their palm. Okay.
Singing the battle cry of freedom, of the coming of the Lord. He is wiping out the wind where the grapes of wrath are stored.
Okay.
Anyway, why are we playing this, Susan?
Because next Monday, you will be seeing a rerun as the town is celebrating Martin Luther King Day.
Right. We will be off to celebrate Martin Luther King's birthday.
Very good.
And this is the fun show, ladies and gentlemen, here at BATV. Sitting behind the keyboard, our maestro in residence, Michael Sallen.
I don't feel funny.
You don't feel funny?
No, do you feel
Maestro
funny?
isn't funny.
No, I don't think it's funny. I'm not. I mean, I don't feel funny.
Okay.
That's all. You know. Somebody downstairs said to me, "Are you that fellow on the fun show?"
Oh, fun show.
She
Fun
said to
and
me-
funny aren't the same
I
thing.
says, "You're the first one that ever told me I was on the fun show."
You named it.
Yeah, well, John, she said, "You don't think it's funny?" I says, "Well, it's kind of tragic most of the time." I told her, I said, we're doing Shakespeare a lot on that program. Anyway.
Well, I'm Arch O'Riley, and sitting between us this evening in the only colorful position on the panel. I was thinking of this.
Yeah.
but
a
that's all right.
charming woman with
Yes.
us,
Susan Harrington
Okay.
who does a great job.
with us
and
again.
puts up with
So-
us.
How many years have you been doing this?
39.
Wow.
I think that's a slight exaggeration.
Yes, it is.
Oh.
But we've been doing it as long as this access operation has been in existence.
Pretty close. Yeah, a long time.
Yeah. This is our fifth studio.
Yeah, it is.
Wow.
Yeah, we've been in some interesting closets along the way. Yeah.
Yes, this is our fifth studio, and one of them literally was a closet.
Hi, duh.
And I was sitting on a hook, a coat hook for a while. I kept complaining about it.
Kept you upright, though.
Yeah, it kept me up.
Kept you upright. He said on these things. So what's on our agenda for today in our random conversations that we offer up to the residents?
I see something here about a poor kid who disappeared back. They say in September. Jeremiah.
Oh, they found him, but it wasn't September.
No.
He was just
This is the other case.
Oh.
This is the other case.
The DCF.
This is the little boy who nobody seemed to have bothered to report was missing until his sister, I guess it was. Was it
Yeah,
his
his
sister?
sister.
It was a 6 or 7.
Commented,
older sister, yeah.
commented in school that he'd gone to live with their other family that she didn't know where there was.
And this
The other family.
and her mother's boyfriend was beating up on the kid. She said something about it, I think.
Well,
But
that was bad. And then we followed that with an Amber Alert, which
Yeah.
worked out a good deal better. Now they're hunting for this kid, and his father's shown up and is showing great concern. Only took him 3 months to show some concern.
But the guy who wrote for the Globe, his son was missing.
Right, that's a local
Jacoby.
Brookline story.
Yeah.
Kid
Yeah.
went to Maimonides.
Yeah.
and they found him?
Yeah.
Oh yes, they found him.
Well,
He had taken himself
He
to
went
New
to New York.
Yeah.
oh, that's
He'd
good.
taken himself.
I'm glad to hear that. Yeah, I
Young
found-
Mr. Jacoby.
That's it.
That's a
We actually got a telephone alert on that one.
okay.
Our phone rang.
Well, somebody in my
the-
Toastmasters group sent me an email. It might have been Rabbi Weiner's family or something.
Oh,
And they asked me to ask BATV to put something out, and I said, I don't know if they do that or not. But
Okay,
I
well,
did. I think Andrea
we
did.
got robocalls from the police department here
okay.
telling us
Yeah,
about the
we
thing.
did.
Although
Okay.
they didn't give us the name.
Okay. Well, I'm glad to
that
hear
time.
that. I'm glad to hear they found this kid.
They did. He
Are there
apparently.
circumstances or anything?
Well, no further discussion.
Okay.
I think that reporter's privilege they probably will never show.
Okay.
Obviously, the kid decided to take himself a a little holiday.
holiday.
All right,
Probably-
okay. all
Probably
right.
some domestic dispute.
Yeah. all right.
Oh, and you know that I had several Amber Alerts about that little girl on my phone,
On your phone,
on my cell
really?
phone.
Then I read a big
Kept getting
story.
these pings.
I was
Now, they
talking
found
to-
her, but she was all the way in North Carolina.
Yeah.
That woman had to drive pretty quick to get to North Carolina in that period of time.
Well, if you have a heavy foot on the gas pedal,
You're likely to get stopped, which is not a good
Yeah.
idea.
Especially in
Just-
Connecticut.
If you've just abducted a child, you know.
true. But she was going at night. She was traveling at night a lot.
Well, that helps.
Yeah. What else did I see that I wasn't happy about?
Probably quite a few things.
It was
That's
cold.
why you don't
it
feel
was very
funny.
cold. Were you cold this past
Well, it was
week?
cold, and then it was warm.
It was very warm.
Then it got
Yeah.
cold again, and then it gets warm.
We got a whole bunch of snow. Then we got a monsoon
Yeah.
to sweep it away. It's been very changeable.
Okay. All right. Well, that's.
I'm glad I didn't bother to shovel it.
And the Patriots won a
The
game.
Patriots won, and this was one of those games, unlike some of the recent ones, where I said that they'd won about 5 games this year they had no business winning. Well, this one they had every reason to win.
Well, I'm just hoping that they're on a roll with they beat the Colts, get it, horses, Colts. Now they're going for the Broncos.
Yeah.
I want the Mannings.
in Denver. They're gonna be up
Beat
there.
Manning's old team, beat Manning's new team.
That's right.
They already beat him once this year.
They
That's
did.
right.
They beat them once.
And they're playing right now. They're playing the best they've played all season long.
And I'm trying to get to know who these people are that are playing for them.
You know what's amazing? All of a sudden now, at the end of the season, and frankly, Belichick was saying the other day, with the limits on the amount of contact time we can have to practice,
Yeah.
the real place that our guys are learning how to play is in the games.
Yep.
He says it's the best practice I get is in the games. And after all this time, there's like 5 or 6 new guys on the defense who are playing terrific.
I know. I watch
There's
and you
just
watch.
one linebacker who's down 25 yards downfield, breaking up a pass in the end zone, and then on the next play, he's sacking the guy.
Well, they said, Tommy, you know, your Brooklyn's own, he didn't throw one touchdown pass.
No,
But
no.
that's okay. They won.
I
That's
don't
right.
care.
They scored 42
Blunt.
points or
Blount.
something.
How do you pronounce
Blunt.
his name?
Blount.
He's a tank, that guy. Fast.
A very fast
Yeah, he
tank.
makes me forget about that fella whose leg was broken.
Oh, Will Fork.
No, the other, the big tight end.
Oh, Gronsky.
Gronsky.
Gronk.
Gronkowski.
This guy,
Gronkowski.
Blunt, I think is terrific.
I have a box of Gronkowski cornflakes that they were selling them last year, so I bought one and sent one to Louisiana. To
You know
my
what the
friends.
funny thing was that, well, not funny, but strange. Our punter got injured
Yeah.
on that play where they centered the ball way over his head, and he tried to
Aiken.
pick it up and he got hit. But he didn't go out until the next time he punted. I have a feeling, I didn't hear, but I have a feeling from the way he reacted, he must have broken his collarbone or something on the thing. And so they had to send.
Tom.
No, they had
Tom
to
was
send,
holding.
but they had to send the place kicker in to punt.
Yeah.
And his first 2 punts were 53 yards.
Terrific
each,
punts.
you know.
Wow, okay.
But their big problem was they had nobody to hold for kicks.
But
But didn't Tommy?
They
Tom.
sent Tommy in. He said
He
hadn't
never
even,
did it.
He said he hadn't even practiced that in years.
Wow.
He said before I went out, I had to say,
What do I
well,
do?
what do I do? What do I say? How does this work? You know, what is this?
I think they deserve a lot of credit for all these things that we're talking about.
The signature thing about this and the signature thing about Belichick is that they're all football players, and it appears that everybody on that team can play whatever position you want to put them in.
Yeah. They're
know?
real good professionals.
Yeah,
That's the
but
point.
they have such versatility.
Yeah, well,
you
he-
know?
Well, let's hope it carries them
Let's
all
hope
the
it-
way.
I mean, I was wondering why Brady was in there holding. We do pay a backup quarterback. Don't you think maybe you'd have had
You
him
could throw
practice,
him in, yeah.
practice holding a little bit? Maybe they want to redshirt him or something.
I don't know. Well, and then I was reading about Alzheimer's and these cognitive tests they're giving.
Yes.
and old people are getting high marks on them. We were talking, Susan, just before you came.
Is a high mark good or bad?
High, well,
Scoring, they were scoring well.
they were
Okay.
scoring
I
well.
guess.
But I wasn't happy with that. But she said it. What did you say about this? If these people,
They keep active. They just keep active.
yeah,
and
if they're
something.
doing things and reading a lot, and if they're sitting around and just playing cards, that's no good either. Okay.
I don't know. My uncle got Alzheimer's when he was still working as a
But I mean,
corporate vice president.
but I think that's biological and neurological. I'm talking about people who don't, they just when they stop working, they retire, they have no outside
Yeah.
interests.
But if it's
or they
Alzheimer's, it's biological.
But I think
you know?
people
But
lump it
dementia
all
can
together.
fall into your
Yeah.
category. They just lose interest in the world
Yeah.
so much that they stop functioning.
Do you think that Chris Christie could be reelected governor based on what's been going on down there?
Bridge Gate?
But what was it? He got in trouble for something. I saw on the news. He got in trouble for something.
Oh, for the bridge.
No,
No,
they
something
said
else.
since then.
Oh,
He
something
was
else.
yelling at
Since
someone.
then.
Yeah.
Well, the interesting thing is, should they ever be able to demonstrate that he knew about this, he's in big, big trouble. But if they can't demonstrate he knew about it, it's all going to blow over.
Well, I'd like to read this book written by this former Secretary of Defense, Gates, the one who said all those nasty things about everybody in his book. At least nobody has read the book really, but they keep quoting the book.
They keep characterizing it
Yeah.
without knowing what it
Yeah.
says.
He said it's the worst Congress
Well, I
that
certainly
you could
haven't read
have.
the book, so I'm not sure what it says. But what I've been given to believe it says, I think is going to end up being to the president's favor.
I think
Because
so, yeah.
He was basically saying the president wasn't bloodthirsty enough.
Yeah.
No, he said he's a pretty good guy.
It was his complaint. And perhaps that's the mindset of a Secretary of Defense, particularly one who found it acceptable to work for George W. Bush.
You know,
Now, the real indictment there is why Obama would take a warmonger's Secretary of Defense and keep him in his administration.
Well, maybe he had some plans to feather him out.
Well, okay, all right. But I liked him blowing up, and I think that was important for a guy like Gates to get a lot of this off his chest, as they said. Good or bad or indifferent, I don't know. I just think it was important for him to say all this stuff. I mean, it was good for his mental health, too.
Well,
And why should we care about his mental
Yeah.
health?
Because he served our country well
You think so?
under a couple of different presidents, Bush and President Obama. You know,
Aren't you the one who usually complains about
Yes.
the tragic waste of our young people's lives?
I do,
And isn't he the one who's principally responsible for that?
But Gates,
And you call that serving the country
but,
well?
but Gates said that he cared more about what happened to these young men and women who came into the service and then ended up over there for wars that shouldn't have been fought over there. He said stuff like that.
But he's the one who sent them.
I don't know if he sent them. He was told, the president wanted to do both presidents.
He's complaining the president didn't want it enough. That's what his book's saying.
Yes, true. But I got the feeling that he cared about the guys, the men and the women who were over there. I really did.
Okay.
And
I think you're a soft touch, but that's all right.
okay, maybe. Okay, all right. Well, do you still think? Do you think I feel that way about the thousands of homeless that we have on the streets all over, particularly in Boston, but all over the country? Actually, state.
What was the count? Did anybody see a story about
20,000
the
in Massachusetts. They counted.
20,000 in Massachusetts?
That's the number.
but
Nearly.
there's some of these people they can.
Doesn't that make it like the third or fourth largest city in Boston? I mean, in Massachusetts?
Yes, but they're not just here. They could be in Worcester and
Well, I
Brockton.
know they're
you
not
know,
just here, but-
in any big urban area. but it's a huge number of people.
But some of these people, you cannot get them to come in.
Right.
Oh, no,
They're
absolutely.
trying to get them to come
No,
in.
absolutely.
You can't get them to come in.
I mean, a
so.
sizable percentage, and I have no idea what the percentage is, but a sizable percentage have abuse problems or mental health problems. And
And so it's kind of tricky when you're lumping them all in together.
True,
you're not
because,
able-
well, there are families, and there are, it said there are a lot of high school students, several thousand high
a
school
lot of them
kids.
won't go to a shelter because they're afraid of the other homeless
Yeah.
people.
That's a
And
serious
perhaps
stuff.
justifiably afraid of the other homeless
Yeah,
people.
so, now they have for homeless vets, they got a place in
Yeah,
Boston.
right,
Yeah.
right, down near City Hall.
And
Yeah.
that's fairly new. It's a couple of years old.
No, no,
Well, it's
no,
longer
no,
than
no.
that.
It's been there
Well,
more
it's
than
been there a
20
long
years.
time.
Yeah, but are there different auspices and changing hands?
It was there way back when I was with the Housing Authority.
Well, you know that. Okay.
Yeah. As
I
a
know
matter of
that-
fact, I painted it once in about 1981, I think. So that's over 30 years ago.
Okay. So, are you glad you don't live in Charleston, West Virginia, where the water?
I might be a little thirsty. I mean, that's a very strange thing. It surprises me that large an area is being served from that small a river, but I don't know how in the world they intend to clean it up. They haven't done a very good job of reporting on
Yeah,
that. They seem to be just waiting for it to wash downstream and become somebody else's problem.
That's what it sounded like
But
to
there
me.
again, that's the way West Virginia's been for a long time.
The Elk River, folks, stay away from that for a while.
But you know, the thing is, if you ran the water in your house, now your pipes are going to be all coated with this stuff. And how they get it out, I don't know.
What was the
They didn't.
It's a foaming
chemical.
agent from coal processing
okay.
a business, but it didn't come from being washed out of the process. It came from some
The tank was leaking.
some large tank, which they had happily sitting on the banks of the river,
Yeah.
full of this stuff. And I don't think the company was even in the coal business. I think it just sold chemicals to the coal industry or something.
Well, I wasn't too
They've
happy.
closed it down now, so that's the end of that. You're trying to signal me that it is now time for the BATV Unrehearsed
Then
Thespian
we come
Society's
back to our
presentation for this evening. Another classic from the vault, a fairly recent
I used a
classic from the
candle
vault.
in there the other.
What?
I used a candle when I was down
Used
in the
a candle?
vault. Yeah, that
Well,
was Jack Benny's style.
You could have sent Rochester down to pick it
Yeah,
up.
What was the name of the car?
It was
the
a
car have a
Maxwell.
name?
It
A
was a
Maxwell.
Maxwell. That was actually a make-up car.
Right. All right. But then
Yeah.
what was there a bear or something down there that had a name?
I don't know. I
Okay.
think there was at one
It
point
was,
a bear.
supposedly there was a bear down there and the bear had a name.
Forget something like that. Yeah.
Well, okay, my aching back. One act.
You're right. That's the title.
Action. Are you hurting, Mike?
Yes, but I'm Kyle.
Susan.
Oh, I'm allowed to change my name to
Yes,
Oh, okay.
you could be
All right, I
Susan.
could be
All right, we'll start over.
All right, go ahead.
We've renamed the characters in this.
Are you hurting, Mike?
Yes, but my name's Susan.
He keeps forgetting names,
Including my own sometimes.
like this time.
It's my back, though.
Why didn't you say so?
She did.
Didn't know my name?
Confusing Joe.
Not really.
Now what?
So it's not his foot.
Let's just drop it.
Are you in pain?
My cataract's been bothersome as heck.
Some relief would be good.
Probably needs surgery.
Will you just shut up?
He's uncomfortable.
And the traveling arthritis, oh boy.
Oh yeah? Does it carry a suitcase?
Backs are different.
Haven't we ever been introduced?
He wants to meet your back.
I didn't start this.
Take some aspirin.
And drink more water.
Yes, and take a hot bath.
Not easy.
He's in agony.
Never complains.
Unlike you.
I don't suffer silently.
I used to swim.
Yeah, exercising can help.
He's having a lot of distress.
That's true.
He's done whirlpool, ice packs, massage, steam.
Well, maybe it's depression.
Had some therapy sessions.
It could be spiritual, I suppose.
I'm a regular churchgoer.
Well, we knew that.
Tap a bottled water.
Why?
He insists it's the chemicals.
Aren't they in both?
Not the point.
Well, what is the point?
My back, I guess.
Backs respond to water.
Mystifying.
Unusual theory.
Popular in the Middle Ages, though.
You know he's serious? He
It-
was there.
If it can help.
Staring into a pool of clear water.
It's like meditation.
Anywhere?
Yeah.
He's had it for years.
Most people have also.
How's your eye?
Did you know guest workers have bad backs?
This is not about politics.
A lot of stoop labor.
Yeah, it's like crops like tomatoes and melons and lettuce,
His didn't come from his garden.
like your traveling arthritis did.
Well, all right, do terrorists have bad backs?
What, from carrying all those weapons and bombs?
Maybe the desert heat helps.
Our troops have them.
Well, that's all the calisthenics.
And those big backpacks.
You got it.
What about surgery?
There's no guarantees there.
Experts tell me to live with it.
Easy for them to say, sure.
Well, you can get addiction to those painkillers.
But what about one of those bracelets?
Magnets?
Yeah, you see them on TV.
Then there's acupuncture.
They're all good for a while.
You just need to get away.
How's he going to get around?
A wheelchair, a cane.
You guys are morale builders.
You got to keep moving.
Mike's right. You can't give up.
Give it a rest.
Hey, everybody's got a bad back.
Me too?
You go down to Kesilwaukee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Helps to put up a needed structure of some sort.
Yeah, partially sponsored by the Rotary Club.
Everybody works, right?
And it's worth it.
And you feel okay?
I'm not complaining.
Like the guest worker programs, huh?
Some respect and kindness.
Wait a second, in Nicaragua or back at home?
Get rid of anger and problems.
Privacy and space, if possible.
Talk it out.
Be calm.
Two sides to everything.
Democracy is a new idea in Iraq.
That place is one big aching back.
It's hard to disagree there.
Should be simpler.
No solution for your back yet, huh?
And no medical insurance. Ha.
Still, there's hope.
Stay positive.
Well, listen, while we're positive, let's say schools will get better.
A new, cheap, clean fuel.
Well, it'll bring peace to the Middle East, huh?
How about security for our country?
We have to do better for the inmates.
Detainees.
Right, there's prisons all over.
What a mess.
And I think I've got a problem.
Women leaders can help turn it around.
You gotta be tough, Susan.
Yeah, order your back to start healing.
Okay, wait a minute. I've tried that in prayer.
It's definitely a personal relationship.
New ideas in the future, sure.
There's this new chiropractor in the neighborhood.
I'm feeling better already.
Anyways, it's only pain.
The eternal optimist.
Blackout. You guys know
All right, ladies and gentlemen.
All
the way down to the vault.
Okay. All right. And now we've heard about that they might be ending desegregation down there in
Well-
Arkansas.
Special payments for desegregation in Little Rock.
Yeah. What do you think about that?
And we figured out that it was 56 years.
And $1 billion to the surrounding schools. What do you think of that, Susan?
Well, I mean, apparently, if they're still having to fund it, then it didn't work.
Well, a couple of the people that have been there, living there, they say just what you said. They don't think it's through yet. They don't think it's over.
No, but the interesting.
And this Judge Marshall, he's the one that put a stop on it while he thinks about it.
The interesting thing is, are there not other communities across the United States that could use special education funding related to desegregation or unequal outcomes and things? The only reason they're getting it is because it was the famous first case.
Well, Eisenhower got involved with it and sent the troops down there at the beginning. I thought it was, I never thought he would do it, really. But I was,
Really?
Yeah, I was teaching school then at a high school in Boston. And,
1958. For those of you who weren't alive or don't remember.
Yeah. Anyways, it's a good story, and let's hope it works out the way everybody wants it to work out. I hope.
I mean, after all, most of the people who were alive then are past middle age now.
I saw this story in one of the
It's a little
papers
shocking to think of that.
Yes.
But that's the thing.
that Iran has the latest American burger shops now.
Oh yes.
And according to
What are
the
you talking,
reporter,
Mickey
he says
D's
they're high
and-
quality food and the people like
But
it.
but are they eating hamburger or are they eating something else?
They're eating meat.
They're eating meat.
Just meat.
Meat. What, isn't that what we used to get in grade school? Mystery meat.
Yeah. So what meat is this instead of?
I can't. That they didn't go into all
Camel?
the rest of that.
Well,
Camel?
It wouldn't be high
although
ham. They wouldn't
yes, I was
eat
gonna
it.
say, wouldn't eat pork. So
No.
so the hamburger they can eat. I mean,
Yeah.
even though they call it
A
hamburger.
burger. A burger. they
Beef
call it.
burger.
Yeah, meat
But what are you
burger.
talking? Mickey D's and Burger King and that kind of stuff, or
Well, it could be.
White Castle? What are you talking?
It could be some of these these chains across the country. And then I
Well,
heard
just
today
name
that
the
Dunkin'
biggest.
Donuts is going to add several thousand new stores all over the country, all over the world now. Can you imagine how big they already have over 11,000 outlets?
A Massachusetts success story.
Yeah, from what was it, Canton?
They're down. Yeah, Braintree.
Yeah.
That's where
Down-
Dunkin' Donuts University.
And their
is.
first store, they
You may have gone to Harvard, but there are those who go to DDU. DDU, they call it Dunkin' Donuts University.
Dunkin' Donuts University.
Anyway, their first store, they instead of upgrade into the new modern things, they restored to the way it looked
to retro.
originally, which was
Called
kind of
retro.
neat.
Why do I
you
keep hearing this stuff about all these this information on credit cards were stolen from Target and now it's Neiman Marcus?
Yeah, I heard needless
It's
markups. Good.
Yeah, it's now up. It started out being like 40,000, and now it's 100 and some odd
Yeah, it's
thousand and
hundreds,
stuff.
150
But I'm
million.
I'm not really hearing many reports about their being used.
Well,
I'm not hearing many reports about people, getting bills, getting charges being set
but
up.
I'm wondering if the word got out so that folks have shut their accounts down.
Well, I mean, I used my card there during the period, and
I did too.
I keep looking up,
Me
and
too.
nothing's happened.
And I never
so-
go to Target. And I went the day after Thanksgiving. I was in Georgia, and I went down.
Well, the funny thing is, I decided to go to Target after this broke for some stuff, and and I elected to pay cash.
Oh,
Well, that's good. That's
so
good.
They didn't get a second crack at me, but
Then I'm reading about arts and education. That the new superintendent, particularly they're looking for one in Boston, should have some strong background in the arts and schools
I'll
with
got some
arts.
strong background in actually teaching in a classroom.
Well, maybe.
Well, who's
But-
saying-
Dealing with parents
who's saying this?
one-on-one.
This is the Globe. Had a big article about this.
who's saying it? Who's
Whoa,
saying
okay.
that they should have this background?
The Globe is owned by baseball
Anybody who
players.
has anything to do with hiring the
Yeah.
person?
Well, that in Boston, Boston's going to be picking a superintendent.
Well, somebody in Boston is.
They have a school
probably
committee.
the mayor.
They have a school committee.
But all the Boston public schools are concerned about is what the Globe says. So if the Globe says you should have kangaroos hanging out your ears, trust me, all the principals will have kangaroos hanging out their ears.
Have you got any resolutions for the new year? We didn't get that before next week. We won't be here. You want to tell anybody about resolutions?
Can't think of any that work.
Actually, Susan said her resolution was to think of a resolution, and she's still
I'm
thinking
still
on
thinking.
I think sharing and being more civil to each
Okay.
other.
it. Right. You plan to share and be civil. Good night, Irene. Good night, Irene. Irene, good night. Irene, good night. We'll see you in our dreams. Good night, Irene. Good night, everybody. Good night, Brookline from BATV and
Back
the
in
Fun
2
Show.
weeks.
We'll
2
be
weeks.
back in 2 weeks.
2
Same
weeks.
time, same station. Have a happy Martin Luther King Day, if that's the appropriate salutation.
It is. Good one, Susan. Okay, there it is. Another great show.